Hey crypto fools, Booter Crypto here with Coinspace, and I wanted to come to you guys with a video today to talk about portfolio management. As we all see, this last day or so since last night, Bitcoin's been taken off like mad, and a lot of newbies have been getting completely wrecked in their alt gains. All this exuberance of seeing coins pop off for 1, 2, 300% gains are just being completely erased by 50% losses right now. And there's an importance to managing that portfolio in a way that keeps you protected during runs. When everybody starts, it seems like we want to jump on in and don't really know the relations of different coins and how the market works and money shifts around in it. And we've all been there. It takes a learning process, which is doing it wrong and seeing that it didn't work. So I wanted to talk to you guys a bit about how the market works and how money flows in and really what I feel like it's doing. One thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, let's check out what Bitcoin did. I'm going to show you guys a couple things to notice in the market in Bitcoin to sort of tell when it's getting ready to pop off. So if everybody's obviously aware at this point that all these altcoins are traded against Bitcoin. So there's a little known sort of a rule in the crypto sphere. When Bitcoin is mooning, alts get crushed. I mean, Bitcoin goes up 10%, altcoins can get crushed 30 to 50%. And that's just because their value against Bitcoin is lowering, but then also people are rushing to sell altcoins to put it into Bitcoin and FOMO or keep, make sure they're in the run up and with the king, the king retaking its throne. And then also when Bitcoin drops a ton, it seems to be the same case with the alts. You'd think it'd be the other way around, but the alts tend to pull back as well, like a mass exit of money from the market. And when Bitcoin is doing this sideways consolidation, that's when altcoins thrive. And if you look here at the chart, guys, uh, we hit our bottom here, it looks like on 1222, and literally for the next couple weeks, we've had this movement between the 15.7 mark down to the 13 mark, back up to the 16 mark, down to the 13.8 mark, down to 13, and we've stayed in this range. And look what's happened with the alts, guys. I'm going to go over to coin market cap, where what we were just there. Let's see. Coin market cap. Look at the top 10 coins. I mean, they're not even the same coins they were 2 weeks ago. The top 20 coins weren't the same. Now we've got Tron in at number 7. Cardano's taken the 5th spot. These are coins that were well down below. Ripple has taken number 2 in market cap, and I've seen some charts that show if this was adjusted, if they burned coins to be on par with Bitcoin, it would be far greater than Bitcoin's market cap right now. You've got no names in here. Stellar, they've been around for a while, but they haven't been top 10 for a while. These coins, Stellar, Tron, Cardano, IOTA, EOS is number 12. They don't even have a working product yet. They've got some awesome things down the pipeline. I mean, these coins have jumped, 300%. Some of them more than that. Z Classic did like 1,000%. So, anyway, just so you see, when it's going sideways, guys, that is when the alts pump. So checking out and knowing when we think Bitcoin's going to sort of get ready to make its next move is a nice way to sort of get ready to shift your portfolio percentages around. And everybody has their own percentages they like to trade in. Some like to hold 50% in Bitcoin. It's what they use to trade with anyway to get alts. And then it's also having Bitcoin, when everything's traded against it, it's the king. It sort of dictates the movements of the others. So if altcoins are pumping, yeah, it's great to take advantage of them. But should the tide switch, if you've got half in Bitcoin, it's a nice balance to make sure you're never fully getting wrecked. So, for me, when I see the pressure building in Bitcoin, I start slowly shifting my amount of Bitcoin holdings to be a little bit more. So I'm just going to go over here over the chart with you guys. It looks like on the 16th of December, we saw the top here again. We saw swift decline over, 5 days or so down to the bottom. here, and then I want you guys to look at RSI. This is a great indicator, okay? This shows you the relative strength index. This shows you when things are oversold or overbought, okay? Whenever we get over, it looks like we're set at 70 here. You can do it at 82. That's pretty aggressive, but 70, it's considered overbought. And check out when it turned around here, guys. It turned around at the most overbought spot that you see here. So as we cross that threshold, it's a great time to think, hey guys, it seems to be a little overbought. We're going to lead to a correction. Check it out over here, back here. This is the pump that was the original pump to the top. This happened, same thing. We might have hung out there for a bit, but check it out. It was definitely overbought. And then what happened? We corrected a bunch. Same thing, guys, when you go under 30, means you're oversold. What happened here? We were only there for a second, but check out what happened. Rebounded. We went from 10.5 within a day back up to 15. So that's $5,000. It's 50% retracement there. So then these are just indicators to look at. What I also want to show you guys is this is when you see there's some signals here within RSI that can tell you that Bitcoin's getting ready to pump. So we came out of this low, we started getting some purchasing here. Now over this period, check out what we're seeing here, guys. RSI, we're seeing this climbing while price was dropping or roughly staying the same. To me, that is a sign, hey, pressure's building, it's found a bottom, people are getting ready to buy again. What happened? That's exactly what happened. We went from 12,881 up to 14. So we had a pretty high bounce then. Then we went sideways here for a bit, guys. We got a little overextended. And then check out what happened. From here to here, we dropped quite a bit in RSI, but our price stayed the same. To me, that shows strength, and it shows like an accumulation phase. So if we're dropping and less people are buying, but we're not selling off, that's consolidation, guys. That's something to pay attention to. That's a good sign that things are brewing. And then we went up with RSI. This is showing you guys it was rising, pressure's building, and we still stayed the same. That right there is a signal to me that we're going up. And then we went up from 14.7 all the way up to where we're at now, 16.8. So these are just some things to be aware of with indicators, and those are times that I would be looking to shift higher percentages of your portfolio back into Bitcoin as protection, okay? There's another thing I wanted to go over, and it's what coins, how they're related to each other. How are prices of certain coins in the market related to Bitcoin? Because there's interesting correlations to look at that can help you have hedges in your portfolio, which are important, So there's coins like Ripple and BCH that are actually hedges against Bitcoin. It seems like when Bitcoin goes on these runs, they don't get hurt nearly as bad. The other thing is when Bitcoin drops off, they seem to take off quite a bit. So I'm going to go over a chart that I've been using. It's pretty interesting. You can check this out at, it looks like, I'm not even going to try to spell it, just read it, cryptocurrency-correlation-matrix. So this shows correlation pairs, and it doesn't show all the coins, but it's very useful, guys. So what this shows is for any positive number, so from 0 to 1 shows certain levels of positive correlation with coins, and then from 0 to -1 shows negative correlations. And depending on if they're from 1 to 3 or 3 to 5 or 5 to 0.5 to 1, that tells you how much they're correlated. So like a 0.1 to 0.3 is a weak positive relationship, but positive nonetheless. 0.3 to 0.5 is a moderate positive. 0.5 to 1 is strong positive, and then the other end of the spectrum exists with the negative. So what this is good to see with is this can help you make a more balanced portfolio. So this tells you for every 1 unit rise in Bitcoin, this is your correlation in these other coins. And if you notice, what we're looking for if we're trying to balance our portfolio against Bitcoin, what happens we're looking for a coin essentially that either goes up or doesn't get hurt let's say a coin that doesn't get hurt, or I should say doesn't go down when Bitcoin runs. So we're looking for negative value. So check it out, guys. XRP, it's a negative 0.02. Not terribly strongly correlated inversely with it, but inverse nonetheless. Bitcoin Cash, same thing. VIX and gold, believe it or not, when Bitcoin is taken off, for example, these are going down, but just slightly. Okay, so when Bitcoin's going down, these are the ones that are taking off. Same thing. Let's look for Ethereum here. Let's look for high correlation. So when Bitcoin takes off, for example, check out Litecoin. It's very highly correlated. So you know what that's telling me as an investor right now, and I'm already super bullish on Litecoin, is, hey, Ethereum's jumped. Ethereum's got a positive correlation, a pretty high correlation to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's jumped. What hasn't jumped yet? Litecoin. Litecoin's been sitting at 240 for a week, 2 weeks. It's sat out this entire pump season of the alts. It is getting ready to explode like a monster. Same thing with Lumens. Lumens already did its taken off. Dash done its taken off. XMR, so Monero is getting ready to take off if it hasn't already. All of these have positive correlations to Bitcoin. These inversely related ones. So when Bitcoin is dropping, for example, XRP is going to be going up, BCH is going to be going up, but all these weakly correlated coins are good to be holding when Bitcoin takes off. They just won't do a whole lot. They won't get wrecked. So, I'd be looking at, when I think Bitcoin's going to take off, I'd be moving my coins into Ethereum, moving them into Litecoin, moving them into Bitcoin, just a little bit more than normal. If Bitcoin looks like it's getting ready to drop, I'm going to be moving some into XRP, Bitcoin Cash, gold. If you're doing anything with precious metals, why not? I'm thinking it would not be a bad idea from all I hear about this year. And then there's one other little article I wanted to show you guys. This came from CoinDesk today, and it talks about follow the leader, analyzing Bitcoin cryptocurrency price correlation. So this is the same thing we've been talking about. It's pretty interesting. They talk about how Bitcoin and Litecoin are birds of a feather. It's pretty interesting. It says for some currency pairs, looking at quarterly data is sufficient, as doing so helps convey a strong sense of the relationship between the two digital assets. Bitcoin and Litecoin is a great example. As price data reaches back to the final quarter of 2013, 6 quarters worth, the pair correlation surpassed 0.7, and 3 quarters where it exceeded 0.8. So that's maybe the strongest positive correlation. Okay, really, really important to note. Bitcoin and XRP are total opposites, as I said. They're inversely related. So they're quite distinct. A situation noted by cryptocurrency manager, Jacob, it might help explain their weak price relationship. Essentially, I think that markets view XRP as a very stable digital asset, so they feel safe parking funds in XRP when they exit other assets. If someone wants to get out of Bitcoin but doesn't want to necessarily move into fiat, head into XRP. So, moving into fiat in the past was causing a taxable event. It's a little more complicated now in 2018, but instead of moving to fiat, you could move to XRP is essentially what they're saying. Ethereum Classic and Monero, they're saying it's a bit more varied results, but just another article to prove a little bit of what I was telling you. Guys, just to finish up with this idea about portfolio management, it's the number one reason people get wrecked. The number one reason. The alts are flying, everybody's screaming about them. Buy this, buy that, it's popping off 200%. That one's popping off 200%. Oh, Cardano's up, Tron's moving, and they're all in. But whoever wins when they're all in? Maybe a select few, and they're the ones that get out and make everyone else wrecked. If you want to stay in this for the long haul, which is the way I think you win in cryptocurrency, is being in the game. I've tried to explain to people that I look at this like a bucket of water. Okay, the water is the money supply in cryptocurrency. Okay, and I feel like there's this sloshing effect that once you're in this long enough, you can sort of sense it and feel it, where the money flows into the alts while Bitcoin's hanging out waiting for its turn, and then when everyone's pumped that, then the money sloshes back to Bitcoin, and then it just, it's like being at the top of a wave. As soon as that wave starts moving to the other side, like you'd see in the ocean, there's got to be a trough in the wave too, right? So that's what happens to these alts. It moves to Bitcoin, then it slides back to the alts. And the good thing about this, and why I say you need to be in the game, is because as this sloshing is happening, it's like the public is pouring more water into the bucket. So it's sloshing, but it's also rising as it's sloshing back and forth. And being in the game, guys, is the number one way to win. Having a diversified portfolio and being in the game while people are pumping money into the area, we're thinking we're going to go into the trillions of dollars. We've already gone from 400 billion, less than a month ago to 750 billion. Being in the game is where it's at, guys. And I just want you guys to see the value in diversifying and not being greedy. You see these alts pumping, everybody gets FOMO. Keep 50% of your Bitcoin, your portfolio in Bitcoin. Maybe put another 30% into the really high market cap strongholds like Ethereum and Litecoin that are going nowhere. And why not trade with 20%? These are you can get a little bit more aggressive and hold 30 in Bitcoin, 30 in Ethereum and Litecoin and trade with 40 or something, or you can get less aggressive. Yeah, so there's all kinds of ways to do it, and that's up to you guys and what kind of risk you like to assume. But anything that can keep you in the game and keep you from getting spooked and stressed, keep diversified and yeah, guys, just keep protected. Back to the charts again one more time. If you guys, we're gonna do a little trading tutorial soon. I'm thinking about how to show people how to find trend lines, and I don't know if you noticed, I drew this trend line here. Let's see, I drew it back here on the where are we? So I drew this trend line. You always need 2 points when you're drawing a trend line. So I had one here. I had one here. I drew this on the 4th in the morning. And check it out, guys. All I did was, I'm going to take this away. I drew this trend line. Cloned it, guys. Threw it right up here. What do you see happening here? It's exactly caught the top of here, and whenever you can go back in history, guys, after drawing a trend line and confirm that that line is where we were trading within, that Bitcoin liked the channel it was in, that's a go for where we're going to go. And what are we seeing now, guys? We ran up into here today, and we pulled back, and we're taking a break. I think this is the new channel that we're kind of in here for just a little. And if we kind of zoom out of here and let's check, we were on the 1 hour. Let's check this. It gets a little bit dicey here with all these lines. Probably hard for you guys to tell what's going on, but I got a fib retracement over here as well, which is very useful because I don't know if you see here, but we came all the way down, tapped, and we've just been consolidating along the 618, which is what you see all these charts end up doing. And then now we've broken out of that 618. So that's where I'm expecting us to go, guys. I've got another trend line here. That's another potential area. So I do think we're going to bounce around in here in this line. So we've got like a mini trend line that we've been following, and then we've got sort of a bigger trend line that we could bounce around in. So just some ideas to show you where I think we're going. I think here we're going to go down and a little sideways till we bump at the end of this trend line. So we kind of stay, in my eyes, between, let's see where we're at, around 17.1 and potentially 16. Sort of bounce around in here until we take this next leg up. And other people are even further more bullish. They think we might be running to 20 fairly soon, which is totally the case. But giving yourself some indicators here with RSI and some trend lines, it helps you guys be able to predict when you need to get set with your portfolios. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Check it out. What is pumping now that Bitcoin is drawn back? When I started this video right here, guys, we were at 248. Check this out. Litecoin's going. This is my chart I posted on Twitter. We were consolidating, tightening. Bam! We broke our wedge. It's happening, boys. I think we go up here and we test 360. We might get a little resistance here at this old resistance here, probably around 305, maybe even before that at around 285. But we're definitely going to test all time and potentially move on to the next fib level. This is what I'm expecting out of Litecoin, guys. I'm expecting this to run to before taking any kind of break for a long extended time to around this 580 range, 600. So anyway, good to see you as we're finishing up the video. Hope you guys liked the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, share to your friends. Anything you can share on Facebook, YouTube, any social media, anything to get these videos out if you find them useful. It just helps me feel like we're going somewhere with this movement. I just want to give you guys opportunities to get in this revolutionary game, make money, improve your lives, take the money back, all the power back from the banks and these other systems that are just sucking us dry. And I just want to bring everybody with me as we take this rise through crypto. So happy trading, guys, and catch you on the next one.